Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the DBZ, or Dragon Ball Z, Part 1 stage of the Supreme Magnificent Battle event, and how you can complete the mission to use 6 Planetary Destruction category units. It's very interesting, I would say. Obviously, we looked at the stage a little bit in detail in a previous video. If you want more information or just a different view on the stage, or different team builds or whatever, you can take a look at that. Obviously it's in the playlist. But yeah, basically, the kind of long story short, what's super interesting here is we have a lot of phases. So we have, I think in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 phases. So regardless, you're in for at least between, I would say, 8 to 12 turns minimum, depending on your team. The phases themselves, especially at the beginning, go by very quickly. You have a lot of them all very much the same. Gohan, Kid, Yajirobe, Yamcha, Krillin, they're all the same thing. They all hit around the same, between around 550 to 750,000 on their supers. Their attack stats for their normals are all similar, being around 200 to 280,000. And they all are immune to sealing, but can all be stunned, attack lowered, defense lowered, etc. Krillin stuns you, Yajirobe seals you, but overall these first 4 phases are a good way to just kind of set everything up, move your team around, and kind of make things work. Then we have Tien and Chaozu, which is a dual unit phase. This one's interesting because Chaozu is very easy to get rid of. He doesn't hit very hard and he has low health pool, but if you do get rid of him, Tien will do more damage to you. Tien gets a 30% attack boost, so you want to try and avoid that wherever possible. So rather try and focus on taking Tien out first, unless you know your units are strong enough to deal with Tien's potentially 1.2 million super. After Tien and Chaozu, you go into Piccolo. Piccolo has now shifted to being immune to stunning, being immune to sealing, being immune to attack lowering, and this will continue with all of them basically being adapted. So Piccolo, a little bit tougher, a million super, 350 normals, 33 million HP, but nothing too wild. Then you move into Vegeta and Trunks, an adapted version of Tien and Chaozu. Same mechanic. So Vegeta, for example, will get a 30% attack boost if Trunks is defeated. Trunks, a little bit tougher than Chaozu, hits harder, has more health, is harder to deal with. Because they're so similar, just take out Vegeta first. It just doesn't really make sense to focus on Trunks. But again, this isn't the hardest stage. So if you're using a really top quality team, which Planetary Destruction generally tends to be, then I would say you're pretty much good to go. And then finally, Super Saiyan Goku, who has a 1.1 million super, can fire it twice in a turn, and also reduces damage below a certain threshold to 0. So nothing too hard here. I think all the phases are actually relatively straightforward in terms of your overall planning and team building and everything like that. But what I will say is that Planetary Destruction poses a interesting dilemma, because Planetary Destruction is a very strange category. It's a very good category. It's got a ton of buffs recently, so it's way more accessible now. But it's only got 3 leads. It's got the AGL First Form Frieza, the INT Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, and the INT LR Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. So it's very rare to see essentially 2 of the same unit lead the same category. You can build a lot of different teams under this, so you're not restricted to any given one. There's a great Wicked Bloodlines team alternative that you can run using units like Cooler Final Form, Frieza Golden, First Form Frieza. I think Turles, the Physical Turles, is a great option to build a team. Physical Turles is Space Traveling Warriors, Terrifying Conquerors, so you can use him, you can use Freezers, you can use, lots of really good units. The Strength Turles that I'm using is great. You've got obviously a Movie Bosses alternative that you can build under the Tech Broly base form. The 200% lead Carnival unit, I mean, that's also really great. There's a lot of options. So Planetary Destruction before was very, very, very limited. In the last 12 months, we've received a ton of buffs. We got 2 new leads. We got an additional lead, EZA. So we got LR Broly getting EZA. We got First Form Frieza, and we got Broly. The sub-leads already were pretty good, being movie bosses, terrifying conquerors, etc. And we got a whole bunch of units. We got Turles and his gang. I know that wasn't necessarily in the last 12 months, maybe just outside, but yeah, it was there. We got the Vegeta, the AGL Vegeta, and his release, Planet Namek Vegeta, first form, Frieza. And then we also got a ton of other great EZAs. Space Traveling Giant Ape Turles. We got the Super EZA for Beerus. We got the Super EZA for Strength Broly Legendary Super Saiyan. We got the Super EZA for the Physical Kid Buu. And we got the Super EZA. I think that's it. We got all of those. And for Final Form Frieza. So we got a lot of Super EZAs. 4 in total for this category, which is very good. Maybe not in future when they need more, but it's very good right now. So overall, I would say, building the team maybe isn't the hardest if you've got these units. Like if you've got the 4 Super EZAs, like you see me using, if you've got, the Brolys, if you've got like all those units, I think you're fine. Like I think you're gonna be able to swim through this. You're not gonna struggle. You're gonna be okay. The big thing will just be deciding what trend in the team you're gonna build. You'll lean one towards either side. Like you'll see I've kind of taken one of each, but it's not really ideal to do this. You either generally want to kind of lean more to having a lot more Brolys or Turleses, that kind of Saiyan side of things, or you're going to want to terrify and conquer it by having like Freezers, Turleses, Coolers because of the big bad bosses link, or you can just go like full kind of Wicked Bloodlines, Freezer, Cooler, etc. There's a lot of different sub-variants you can run. So, there's no real, you have to build this or you have to do that. There's some decent free-to-play options. The physical Frieza Cooler Final Form, I think is very good. The Int Frieza First Form is very, very good. First Form Frieza, the AGL one, is pretty solid, obviously as a lead. So I think, there's some options here. What I would say is, it's just going to depend on your box, but I think Planetary Destruction is fairly accessible. So I don't see players having too much issues with this. If you're a newer player and you're only summoning right now, you might struggle with a bit of availability, as a lot of these units came out very recently, but you should still be fine. You've got redstones and things like that if you need to pull some of these older Super EZAs, which are all really good. So I think, it's more than fine to spend the redstone on them. But yeah, that's it from me. See you next time. Bye.